Today we're going to be learning about nuclear power plants. How does one extract energy from an atom, or even better, is it even possible? The answer to that question is explained in Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared. If E is energy and m is mass and c is the speed of light, Einstein's equation says that you can turn a tiny amount of mass into a huge amount of energy. How come? Looking at the math, c is a really big number. It's about 300 million to be exact, so c squared is even bigger. It's about 90 trillion. That's how many joules you'd get from a single kilogram of mass. In theory, if you could turn about 7 billion hydrogen atoms completely to energy, you'd get about 1 joule. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but remember the fact that there are billions and billions of atoms in every single speck of matter. So it should technically be possible to make lots of energy from not very much at all. That's the basic idea of nuclear power. How a nuclear power plant works is that first, uranium fuel is loaded into a reactor, which is a giant concrete dome that's reinforced in case it explodes. In the heart of the reactor, unstable atoms split apart and release heat energy. Control rods made of native materials such as cadmium and boron can be raised or lowered into the reactor to soak up neutrons and slow down or speed up the chain reaction. Water is pumped through the reactor to collect the heat energy that the chain reaction produces. It constantly flows around a closed loop linking the reactor with a heat exchanger. Inside the heat exchanger, water from the reactor gives up its energy to cooler water flowing in another closed loop, turning it to steam. The steam from the heat exchanger is piped to a turbine. As the steam blows past the turbine's vanes, they spin around at a high speed. The turbine is connected to an electric generator which produces electricity that goes to your houses, shops, offices, and businesses. Some pros of nuclear energy are that using nuclear energy would render us energy independent because we wouldn't have to use fossil fuels anymore. Using this type of energy produces no air pollution, and the technology is readily available for its production. Some cons of nuclear energy are that building one minimally small plant is relatively high cost. Uranium is a scarce resource. If we switch our main power source to nuclear energy, it leaves the U.S. open to attack. Radioactive waste is produced. It takes a long time to build a single plant, and if any slight problem occurs, millions of people could potentially die. The end.